Out of all of the tips you can take away from this video, this is the one that is actually going to impact your skin the most. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking all things acne and back to school. I've got 10 tips to share with you guys, and yeah, when I think about my acne journey, I definitely think back to school because that's where it started. Our hormones, you know, everything's kind of going through a bit of a ride around that time of our lives when we're at school. And yeah, there's definitely a couple of tips that I have racked together which I wish I just knew back then, which I think would have helped my situation so much. So I really hope these tips help you guys. Okay, so tip number one is, if you at the moment you don't have acne and you've got that really beautiful young skin, do not put foundation on it. It really is not necessary, especially if you're using it every single day at school as well. Like, it's a lot of makeup. Like nowadays, even now, I wear makeup like twice a week. At that age when our hormones are, you know, going on a bit of a ride, our skin can become more oily, and that mix of, you know, the oil and the foundation, it's just, you know, it's a breakout waiting to happen sometimes. If you haven't got any acne, you've got that beautiful skin, just embrace it, enjoy it, because I wish I could rewind and go back to that skin. Like, that is what we're all aiming for. Like, nowadays when we wear foundation, that is our goal. So if you've already got that, rock it. Now, if you do have acne and you're wearing foundation because you want to cover it, then I really recommend two things. Either really look into getting a lightweight foundation, just something to even out the tone, and then cover your spots with concealer, just so it's not so heavy on the skin. Or alternatively, just use a bit of concealer. That's what I would do. I would get a little detail brush and go around and just mask up any spots you need to cover, and it's a lot less product on the skin. I do have a video on how I do that with concealer, so I'll leave that listed. My hair, I'll leave that listed if you want to go check that out. But that, yeah, they're my tips when it comes to foundation. Okay, so tip number two, I just want to touch on diet. I just really recommend trying to get a balance. So be mindful just of how much of the processed sugary foods that you eat. I think at that age is where we start to get more of our independence, and we can, you know, go out and make our own decisions with food. We don't rely on just, you know, going home and our mum has it already. So that's when we do reach, I guess, for more processed stuff, because it is cheaper. And obviously when you're a student, you're always going to go for the cheaper option. Try and just keep a balance. So maybe talk to your parents at home and try and keep everything you have at home really lovely, healthy, nutritious, so you are getting those nutrients in, and then when you go out you're not feeling like so bad and you kind of got a bit of a balance. Because I think, let's be honest, it's not realistic for me just to say, you know, avoid junk food, avoid processed food, and, you know, don't touch all that. I mean, if you did, that's amazing and your skin will absolutely thank you for it, but is it realistic? Probably not. I know what canteens are like, and they, you know, they don't offer always the best options. A lot of like pizzas, and like we used to have paninis and pastas and stuff like that. A lot of white, you know, foods. So what I would say is try and, you know, maybe get just a healthier option that you can, whether that is maybe a sandwich, that could be actually a better option, or a salad if they have that, I don't know, or just try and get some greens in there somehow. The other alternative you do have is if you can do a packed lunch. That is onto a winner, because then at least at lunch at school you can take maybe leftovers from dinner the night before, you know, just ask your parents to help you out and make a nice little healthy packed lunch. You can take that in. That goes with snacks as well, instead of snacking on what they have in the canteen, and then you can maybe take in your own little snack and be a bit healthier, like some energy balls. Or there's so many YouTube videos out there with people sharing ideas for this, so there's lots of inspo. All this processed and high sugary foods can really influence with our hormones as well, can produce more oil on our skin, you know, and upset that balance, and just kind of make things like more aggravated, especially with like testosterone. When we go through puberty, like things like testosterone do peak a lot, so you know, you want to try and not put fire on fire, I guess, with the kind of food you're eating. Tip number three, let's just chuck it in now, it's also the water. Something that's going to really help you is make sure you're drinking enough water. Really recommend just getting a nice bottle you can take around school. If I think back, I probably didn't drink enough water when I was younger, and I was so active, I was such a sporty child. So yeah, definitely be like conscious of that. If you can take a bottle, at least you can like see how much you've drunk throughout the day, but that's going to really help your body and like your skin, helping, you know, just flush through everything, even your gut health as well. Keep that nice and hydrated, hydrate your cells. Do you mean everything needs hydration? So yeah, definitely don't look over that. Tip number four, let's talk about skincare. So with skincare, go simple, gentle and basic. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Skin doesn't need all of the acids and the retinols and that kind of stuff. You save that for later in life. Like, trust me, you'll get there one day. You don't need that on your young skin at the minute, and I think really embrace that. Just go back to basic. Don't overload the skin. Your skin can't handle, you know, all those different steps and different products. What you want to go for is a gentle cleanser, maybe a toner and a moisturizer. Those three things, get them nailed. To be honest with you, the toner is just a bonus. If you can just get your cleanser and moisturizer down, that's pretty good. And then just try and have a nice routine with it. So make sure you cleanse every morning and night. So I definitely do morning and night, especially in these ages, especially if your skin is a bit more prone to being more oily. Now also on that topic, let's just touch on acids. So if you do have active acne, then yes, you might find something like a salicylic acid, or people like benzoyl peroxide, things like that might be good for your skin. So I would say maybe start with the salicylic, see how your skin responds. Usually people like respond better to like one over the other. Alternatively, there is other options, like some natural options. I know Pi, for example, I know they do their serum, which is with copaiba and zinc, which is a nice alternative. There's lots of other different brands who do their own like natural version. So yeah, just something like that might help. Maybe pop it into like a spot treatment or like a serum step. Problem I have sometimes putting it in the cleanser is you're going to use that cleanser twice a day, and then sometimes if you've got the acid in the cleanser, it then becomes too much of the acid. So I would say try and pop it in like a serum or like a spot treatment, so something that you can use, like I said, as and when you want to. Okay, I've already lost count of what number tip I'm on, but the next tip, kind of still sticking on the skincare a little bit. So if you're at school and you do PE, that's basically sport, that's what we call it, physical education. So yeah, any kind of sport at school, really recommend having some micellar water with you. I love the Garnier one with the little pink cap, the sensitive one. I really think that works really well. And what that means is that after you've done exercise at school, you can just give your skin a little bit of a refresh, especially if you're that sporty child like I was. Like I was, doing sport at school, I was playing netball after school, and then I was going from netball at school to my dance classes. I was constantly doing stuff. So just having something just to kind of refresh your skin in between is really nice and handy to have, and it can really help with any breakouts. Because what you don't want, especially if you're wearing makeup as well, is doing sport and that sweating and then not doing anything afterwards, and that just sits on your skin. Like think how much bacteria and just the grossness like sitting on your skin. So yeah, micellar water, really wish I knew about that back then. Okay, so next tip is that if you have very oily skin, then get some blotting papers. Now a nice cheap alternative to this is tissue, like toilet paper. If you grab some toilet paper and then just how they have different layers to the paper, peel the layer apart, take one layer and then just dap it like on your skin. That is exactly the same as a blotting paper. I actually do that now. I don't even buy blotting papers. If I ever feel like my skin's oily, I just get a bit of toilet paper and do that trick. And also actually, as a little warning, if you do buy the blotting papers, look at the ingredients and try not get ones that are covered in powder, because they have talc in them, and talc can be actually quite comedogenic for our skin and actually clog our skin a bit. The next tip is try and keep your hands away from your face. Now definitely guilty when you're at school, like if you're in class, you might lean on your hands, you might touch your face, I don't know, whatever, and you don't realize all that bacteria on your hands could be going on your skin, and then that could be causing some of your breakouts. So try and resist touching your face as much as you can. Okay, so next tip is for any of you boys who might be watching. So this is actually a tip that I got from my boyfriend. So he actually did go for a period where he was getting acne when he was younger, and he said it was because of his hair gel. So yeah, definitely look into your hair products. Maybe your hair products could be causing some of the breakouts on your skin, and he found that as soon as he stopped using his hair gel products, because he used to like spike his hair up when he was younger, then yeah, once he stopped using those, all of his acne just disappeared. And even now, like I notice he doesn't use hair products anymore, and if he ever has his hair cut, he always comes home, washes his hair, because he's worried that any hair product is gonna like break out his skin. So he even still does that now, and he's like 25. So yeah, hair products are always a massive one to look out for with skin, and that goes for girls as well. You can check your shampoos and conditioners. Okay, so the next tip is makeup brushes. Now, oh my gosh, it makes me feel sick when I think about what I used to put on my face. I used to finish school and then do our makeup on the bus, and I remember I used to have like a makeup bag. All of my friends, like all of us did, we had this makeup bag, and inside there was everything, and everything was loose, makeup brushes, everything. You pull it out and like, there's old foundation all over the makeup brush. God knows what is touched inside that bag. Think of the bacteria that I was putting on my face, using those dirty makeup brushes. So yeah, and I hardly like clean them that often. So yeah, really recommend clean your makeup brushes. It will reduce how much bacteria you're putting in your skin. Also the sponges, I think as well, try and like, even if it's like a little sandwich bag or something, pop your brushes into that and then put it in your makeup bag. Try and keep them separate. The next tip, which I think is actually the last tip, is don't try and grow up too quickly. Now my voice is going, hear me out on this one please, because I actually think out of all of the tips you can take away from this video, this is the one that is actually going to impact your skin the most. When you're at that age, you always want to be older than how old you are, and you always look up to, you know, whether it's people on YouTube or you look up to older people in your school, sisters, all that kind of stuff, whatever, and you're always looking at what they're using and you want to do the same. With that comes with using more makeup than you should be at the wrong age. It comes with using skincare that you really shouldn't like need or even should be really using yet. Just like a self-image as well. Like there's a whole host of things that come with trying to grow up too quickly, and trust me, my biggest piece of advice is you are going to get there one day, and when you get there you're going to wish you were actually younger again. All these products that you end up using just because you know, someone else is using them, you don't realize your skin doesn't need, and then it causes problems, and that's how the acne starts. And I actually think that was one of the reasons my acne started, because I remember there was this foundation, it was the like number 7. It was a bit like Dream at Mousse, and like all the old people were like using it, so then I wanted to use it. And then also when I got into like watching YouTube videos, I was like, oh my god, all this like baking and all this stuff that everyone's putting on their skin, I want to do that. So then I got all the makeup, I started using it, and my skin was really breaking out. But back then I didn't realise it was actually the makeup breaking me out. I wasn't like educated on that. So yeah, I just kind of think, well, if I didn't try and, you know, do all that then, that wouldn't have happened. And also, actually, just to quickly end it, on the skincare front, is that trust me, like all these really strong ingredients like retinols and things like that, like all anti-aging ingredients, you do not need yet. Like your skin is nowhere even near needing that yet, and you don't realise that using them too soon can be quite, you know, that damaging for when you're older, because your skin might not respond well to it when it's older. Also, you might just make your skin even more sensitive, so gradually your skin's become more sensitive, and then you get yourself in a whole nother skin concern like issue. And this really does happen. Like I've definitely been in like places where they sell The Ordinary, and I see girls like 13, 14 buying retinol and all the lactic acids and glycolics and like, you know, doing all this stuff. They come with like lots of acne on their skin, and I'm just like, no. Don't use these ingredients yet. Like you need to just strip it back. Basic, gentle, simple skincare, trust me. If you found this video helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you have any video requests that you'd like to see. But to my side right now, I will pop a video. I don't know what I'll pop, we'll see what I pop there today. If you want to go check out more from me. And anyway, have a wonderful day guys. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.